Shalom, shalom to the elect of Yasharal. All praises and glory goes to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai by Hashem, Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the legmen feeding the sheep of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai. Sincerity and in truth with this great gospel coming out of our Bible. Right, in the Bible, the God of the Bible is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahushai. Right, and we're living in what the end times. What times is it? It's the end times according to the scriptures. According to the scriptures, right? The prophecies, the things that the prophets saw, the things that would happen before the coming of the Lord, the different signs, right? Let's get some verses. Let's start off with Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven." Right? A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. Right? What time we in right now? We at the time of Esau is being broken down, and the children of Israel is being built up. Right? We got this society, this kingdom being broken down, and what the kingdom of heaven is being built up. Because what did the Lord say? Let me get this other verse. I'm going to go to the book of Luke 17. Let's start Luke 17. We're going to go to 20. It says, "And when he was demanded of the Pharisees, when the kingdom of the Most High should come, he answered them and said, The kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, Lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is what within you." Is within you, right? The kingdom of the Most High is already being established through what? Disciples, through the prophets, through the believers, right? The people waking up to this knowledge, man. We damn near almost in the kingdom. We damn near in the kingdom of heaven. We about to be delivered, right? We about to be changed. We about to be, we're in a transition. That's why it says the kingdom shall be translated from one people to another, right? And we're seeing that happen, just like with the Roman Empire. It was a translation from Edomites to what? The dark tribes, Benjamin, Judah, Levi, right? It says, I'm reading again, "And when he was demanded of the Pharisees, when the kingdom of the Most High shall come, he answered them and said, The kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, Lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you." Yeah, we got this gospel, we got this truth. That's why it says the truth shall what? Make you free. Free from what? The spiritual bondage of this world, the worldly bondage, Esau's bondage, your mental bondage, your false God bondage, right? You're a slave to idol. You're a slave to what? False doctrine. You're a slave to money. You're a slave to your family. You're a slave to yourself. But when it comes to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you're not dealing with that, right? That's why you gotta understand the times that we're living in. We're living in times where, man, the end of wickedness, the end of people with wicked spirits is coming to an end, man. The Lord's about to establish righteousness. Right? That's why it says, look for a new heaven and a new earth. I'm reading it again, back in the book of Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted," right? A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, right? This ain't no fucking laughing times right now. This ain't no laughing times right now. What's going on in the world? End time shit. End of the currency. End of a system. Right? End of a way of thinking. that westernized way of thinking. That self-idolization way of thinking. Right? What else is going on in this society? Let's read certain things that's happening. Right? It says 12.5 million Americans are looking for a job. Won't find one yet. They ain't gonna find a motherfucking thing, because them jobs is gone. Right? You had the what? Back in the 1990s, the North American Free Trade Agreement. What did that mean? It sound good, right? All these, North American Free Trade Agreement. That's something, man. They done took your jobs and sent them overseas. Right? They done gave the jobs over to Chinese, the Mexicans, right? Taiwan, Thailand, all these other nations. And guess what? Now you people here in Babylon the Great, you're just consumers. You're no longer producers. You're just a consumer. A consumer with no money, with an addiction to what? Narcotics. Right? A failing, fucked up society. It says we're all getting fucked. Right? Millennial mailman used to be the middle class. Now they've living in poverty. Right? It's a wrap. These people who thought they were doing good, they're so-called college educated, or the people with government jobs, right? They thinking everything was good. What happened? The Lord done pulled the rug from underneath their feet. Now they got to deal with what? Poverty. That's why it says it's a time to what? Let's go. It says a time to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. Right? I just did a video about clubs being closed all over what? Europe. All over Europe, and Europeans. The Caucasian, right? I tell you in the book of Job, let's go to it. Here we go. This is the book of Job 21, and let's start at verse 7. Job 21 and 7. It says, wherefore do the wicked live? They become old. Yea, they are mighty in power, right? Because what most Israelites die at a young age, right? They die from violence, street violence. They die from the curses. They die from diseases. But them Edomites, they doing wicked. They full-blown sodomite, full-blown drug user, right? But they live to be these old, decrepit, wicked motherfucking devils, right? And accumulate lots of wealth, right? I'm reading it again. It says, this is the book of Job 21. We're going to go to 7. It says, wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power. They establish, their seed is established in their sight. Their seed is established in their sight with them. Right? They go to their children's graduation. Right? They open a company, they pass it down to their children, their children's children. They get to watch their third or fourth generation of their children. While you Negroes, Hispanics, you get to watch your motherfucking kids die. Got a newborn little baby, you driving through the streets, some niggas start shooting, bow, bullet done hit your little child, right? Because you under them curses. You are not the people talking about in this verse. It says their seed is established in their sight with them and their offsprings before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. Right? It says their houses are safe from fear. The main reason they get away from you Negroes, you Hispanics and Native Americans, because they know you motherfuckers is cursed. You cursed, so they don't want that shit around them, so they get far the fuck away from you. It's called white flight. And in them areas, guess what? No problem. Gates. They got gated communities. They leave their doors open. They leave their windows open, man. Everybody rich over there, so they ain't worried about nobody doing nothing. Right? It says their houses are safe from fear, neither is the rod of the Most High upon them. Yeah, the Lord, man. That's why they could be a sodomite. They could do wicked things because that's their lot. They weren't giving the laws and statutes that they're not going to receive the judgment for that. They're going to receive the judgment because they're just the wicked. Right? And so we're receiving the judgments because we broke the law. We sinned. We are the sinners. Right? It says their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth their children, they send forth their little ones as a flock, and their children dance. And their children dance, yeah. Their children was dancing, rejoicing, having fun, going to school, going to college, going to parties, and then owning a multi-million-dollar company, moving to the suburbs, retiring, dying of old age. Family around them, man. Guess what? That shit coming to an end. That shit coming to an end. Because what? The Lord is putting them curses on these devils right now, man. Them curses on Esau, Edom. This is the book of Deuteronomy 30, verse 7, and it reads, in Yahweh, in the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and upon them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Yeah, we see the curses turning being sent forth to our enemies. Yeah, we see our enemies becoming going through poverty. Right, we've seen poor whites, poor Chinese, poor Arabs, poor East Indians. Right, we're seeing them fall victim to narcotics, drug addiction. We're seeing them we're seeing their houses divided. That's another curse. They're turning on their own people. They're killing their family members. Right, we're seeing violence in the white community like never before. Right, the fentanyl, the drug addiction, the opioids. Right, everything is going just according to plan. Because what times are we living in? What times are we living in? End times. We live in the end times. Esau, Edom, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Yeah, what time is it? It's the end times, man. Here's the signs, more signs, right? It says, Dear white peoples. This is from Rep. Jamal Brown. Right, Jamal Brown from New York City. It says, Dear white people, I don't know why I feel the need to keep talking to you. I don't know why part of me still has hope for you and for us. Some of you are too far gone, but maybe enough of you aren't and will join us in fighting to end white supremacy. This is a retard motherfucker. Yeah, he gonna go to the enemy to help, thinking the enemy gonna help him. Right? We don't need the enemy. Who do we need? We need our Lord. It says, repent and return back to your Lord, not to gather yourselves with the enemy. Right? Because it's a lot of these so-called educated college graduates, integrated Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. They think the way to bring down the system is to become part of the system. You know, we're going to get in the system and we're going to overtake the system and change the system. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. What the Lord going to do? The Lord going to put a spirit on these crackers. They're going to turn up. It's going to get bad. They're going to kill some of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. You're going to be calling for motherfucking help. It's called the time of Jacob's trouble. You're talking about dear white people. You need to be talking about dear you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because your ass is in trouble. Right? When the white boy is talking about don't buy anything for 18 months, what's coming is worse than a recession. What's coming? The collapse of your currency, the collapse of your society. We're going back to Ecclesiastes 3, and let's start in verse 5. It says a time to cast away stones. Matter of fact, 4, it says a time to weep and a time to laugh. Yeah, they in the time of weeping right now. It says, weep for the miseries that shall come upon you, ye rich men, right? And we seen the people weeping for the loss of what things that they were connected to, their houses, their cars, right? Their marriages, their families, right? Man, the Lord's splitting everything apart. It says a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. The motherfucking crackers ain't dancing no more because nobody going to them clubs. Clubs being closed. Liquor sales is down. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Right? The love of many waxing cold. A time to get and a time to lose. Which time is it here in Babylon, Babylon the Great? It's a time to lose. It is definitely not a time of getting. Right? You had that my man Too Short back in 1990 something. He said, get it while the getting is good. Get it while the getting is good. Yeah, because the getting is not good right now. It's bad times. Right? You got rich motherfuckers losing everything. Middle class vanishing. Right? Your money is vanishing. It's going overseas, man, to help fight what? The agenda of who? The small hats. It says a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. Right? We're speaking right now because the Lord had put the Spirit in us to prophesy what the downfall of this place, the collapse of this society, the end of this man's civilization. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. It's definitely not a time of peace in this society. It says Jamie Foxx allegedly involved in fight at Mr. Child during birthday dinner. All right, breaking news: Jamie Foxx mouth split with a bottle in a fight. Right? Who busted this shit? They said it was P. Diddy's son. Right? You got a lot of you celebrities, you entertainers, you and people stuck in this world, and you're like, oh man, nothing's going on. Just keep living life. And guess what, man? This ain't the time to just keep living life. We just read it. There's a time to get and a time to lose, a time to laugh and a time to smile, a time to dance, and man, all them things is over, right? We're in a time of a collapsed society. You got these dumbass Drakes still trying to hold on to this devil's world, man, celebrating bullshit. What does it say about your birthday? Read this. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7 verse 1. It says, a good name is better than a precious ointment. In the day of death than the day of one's birth. I'm reading again. A good name is better than precious ointment. In the day of death than the day of one's birth. Right here you are celebrating your birth in a system that you were set up to be a slave in a system that you're cursed in a society that you're destroyed in. You don't even have a name. You're known as black people. You're known as Hispanic, right? You didn't come from Spain, right? You're known as Latino, right? You ain't one of them Latin crackers, them conquistadors, them Spaniards, them enemies who came and took you down, but they gave you their names. And some of you, they gave you no name, no identity. You're black. You're black people, and they run with it, man. Black people, man. Black power, nigga. Black power. A bunch of brown-skinned motherfuckers, especially the light-skinned nigga. Light-skinned nigga lighter than motherfucking, fucking candle, man. He out there talking about black power, looking retarded. Right? That's why the Lord ain't dealing with that dumbass spirit. It says a good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth. And we know that this birthday worship shit, this shit go back to them heathens. Right? That go back to them Gentiles and that pagan worship. Right? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Right? It says the tradition of birthday cake is rooted in ancient pagan cultures, including the ancient Greeks and Egyptians. Right? You guys got them same spirits of the Greeks, the Egyptians. Right? It says, and the ancient Greeks honored the goddess of the moon, Artemis, by baking round cakes and lighting them with candles to represent the moon's shines. The moon's shine. The Greeks also believed that the evil spirits visited people on their birthday. What it says, the Greeks also believed that evil spirits visited people on their birthdays. So candles were kept burning all day to celebrate and ward them off. Ooh, so you see why so many motherfuckers get knocked off on their birthdays. Because they on some idol worship and shit. They on some self-worship. So the Lord knocking their ass off. That's why they were like, man, what's going on the birthdays, man? So it's evil spirits visiting people on their birthdays. And if you watch the news, how many people done died on their day of birth? Right, on their so-called birthday celebration. Right, I'm going out for my birthday, we throwing a party, man. She ain't make it back home, he ain't make it back home. It says the Greeks also believed that evil spirits visited people on their birthdays. So candles were kept burning all day to celebrate and ward them off. Some pagan shit, right? It says here, ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians celebrated birthdays by offering gifts and a feast to honor the pharaoh on their coronation days. Bullshit, right? It says German bakers are credited with inventing the birthday cake as we know it today. One theory is that a candle was placed in the middle of the bread or cake shaped like a baby Jesus, shaped like baby Jesus, to symbolize the light of life. Right? Pagan shit. Early Christians considered birthday celebration to be pagan because people were born in original sin. I'll read this. It says, the blowing out of candles. The Greeks believed that rising smoke from the candles carried wishes and prayers up to the gods. Right, some madness. In Germany, right, because there's only one God. His name is Yahweh. It says, and we don't need no birthday cakes, right, to do all that bullshit, just calling his name. It says the birthday person would make a secret wish while blowing out the candles. Yeah, right? German shit. And we know this go back to them probably them Jakes. Them Jakes during the Dark Ages doing all these different bullshit customs. Because we know we are the former of all things. It says cutting and sharing the cake. Cutting and sharing the cake symbolizes sharing good fortune and happiness with loved ones. Right? Pure madness. Pure madness, man. That got nothing to do with nothing. That's why the Lord bust my man shit at his birthday party, right? It says Jamie Foxx allegedly involved in fight at Mr. Chow, eating at an abominable place, Mr. Chizzy, during a birthday dinner. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 7:1. It says a good name is better, right, than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth, right? Because when you die in this society, man, you get to go to paradise, man. You get to escape from this fucking captivity, at least for 3 to 4 generations, until the Lord send you back. Then you come back to what? Hell on earth, right? It says, verse 2, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. I'm reading, it says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Somebody should have read this verse for Jamie Foxx. He would have been trying to find the Lord. He would have been calling on the Lord instead of trying to celebrate his day, another day in captivity, right? Another year, another 365 in this cell, in this prison, right? It said it's better to go to the house of mourning than go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. It says sorrow is better than laughter. And these stupid ass comedians, man, they know ain't nothing to be laughing about in this society, right? They tell you about shit that's fucked up, and they trying to crack a joke with it. It says sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made. What better, right? The Lord gonna build you up to make you suffer, man. It says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, right? Us Israelites who are mourning and calling and crying and sighing for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. That's what the Lord is paying attention to. The Lord ain't paying attention to these clown ass motherfucking entertainers and celebrities, man. You know, paying attention to them death angels. That's the type of spirit that's gathered around him. It says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools, is in the house of mirth. Right? Is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the songs of fools. And man, if you're not in this truth, all you're hearing is songs of fools. The doctrine, right? The information, right? The music, right? Everything that they push is madness, man, leading you to what? Your destruction. That's why you got to come out of her, like the scriptures say, come up out of her. I'm going to read the book of Romans 13:11. It reads, and that knowing the time, right? And that knowing the time. What time is it? End times. What time is it? It's end times, baby. It says, in that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, out of that slumber, right? You done fell asleep. You done been drinking that wine, and that wine done put you to sleep. They are drunken, but not with wine, right? What you drinking with? The philosophies and the doctrines of this world, right? The stupid shit that these people got you believing in, right? The flat earth, the Big Bang, right? There is no God. You thinking that you are a God, but you can't get your goddamn self out of the situation that you're in, so that makes no fucking sense. It says, in that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Yeah, we see the salvation coming because we see the signs, right? We see the signs, right? We see the signs. This Luke chapter 21 and 25, it says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, or perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, right? It says men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be what? Shaken. Shall be shaken. The Lord about to tear this bitch up. We're about to shake the shit out of this motherfucking place, man. These people, they gonna hide. It says they gonna hide in the caves of the earth. They gonna beg the rocks to fall on them to protect them from what judgment that's fucking coming to these motherfuckers. It says men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with the power and great glory. Yeah, how was shy coming to tear this bitch up. I'm gonna tear this bitch up. I'm reading 1 Thessalonians 5, and when it says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, it says, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. Right? Because if you knew when the Lord was coming, you try to get right the last second. So the Lord been giving you warning for a good long time now. So it says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, what peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as a travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. They shall not escape. Ain't no, it's only the elect shall be preserved and delivered from what's coming, man. Shalom.